Hi, my name is Carrie. You might know me as K Warning or from my shop, 8-Bit Stitch. Today I have a topic for you that I feel like is not really taught. It's more of something that you just figure out as you go in cross stitching. I decided I wanted to teach you how to frog. If you've seen my previous Terms to Know videos, you know that frogging is to undo the stitches you have already done. Maybe you miscounted and made a mistake, maybe you grabbed the wrong color, or maybe you're just not quite liking the choice that you made with that stitch at the moment. There are lots of reasons why you might need to frog. In my case, I did this little stitch here. You may have seen it in my specialty threads video on DMC Tropical Glow threads. And I don't like these colors. I don't like these threads. I'm going to frog out just the rainbow part, maybe even the words, because I have kind of an idea of how I want to finish and frame this guy. And then I'm going to restitch it with a thread that I do like. So I'm going to show you 3 different ways to frog, saving the most extreme for last for this guy. The first way to frog is to backtrack your stitches with your needle. This saves you a little bit of time in the end because you don't have to re-thread in order to start stitching again. I really only recommend using this way to frog if you've only got a few stitches to undo and you literally have just stitched them. It really doesn't make sense to re-thread a certain thread in order to do this backtracking method. It does take a little bit more time, and you do have to be very conscious about where you stitched in order to backtrack the same way in reverse. The second way to frog is probably the most common way that I frog. It is to take your needle and grab the thread from the top side where you have just stitched. So you're going to want to find the most recent thread that is loose and just pull it out from the front side. And you're going to repeat that for each side of the X. So you'll do the top stitch on the X and then the bottom stitch on the X. This can get a little tricky as your thread gets longer. It cannot as you're trying to undo your stitches. So if you've got a lot of frogging to do, sometimes it can be useful to do this method, clip your thread, and keep going with a shorter strand. Both of these methods are great options if you're trying to reuse your thread. The third option, not so much. You are going to grab a seam ripper. This is your most extreme type of frogging. This is when these first 2 methods are not going to work for you. Maybe you have a lot of frogging to do and it's just going to save you more time, or maybe you've got some stubborn thread that isn't really coming out. This is the method that I will be using for this guy here because I've got a lot of thread to take out and I know that I'm not going to reuse this thread because I do not like it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I seam rip out my stitches, and then I will restitch this guy and show you the end results. What I do first with the seam ripper is pop out the top stitch of all the stitches that I would like to remove from my piece. Once the top stitch is ripped from each cross stitch, I can then use tweezers to pull out the threads easily. This is by far the fastest method, albeit a little messy, but not too bad. ta-da, just like that, I have fixed the piece. I hope you found this video helpful. If so, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on those notification bells so you can get a notification the next time I post a video. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, happy stitching. And hopefully no frogging. This place comes fully furnished.
No, this is all completely staged.
It must be very expensive to furnish a place like this.
And not really if you get it secondhand, or maybe you get up early on Tuesdays, which is garbage day, and find a discarded couch or sofa.